All right, team, it's time for another update. We are making progress, but it's one of those things, the more progress you make, the more things you uncover that need doing. But that's fine because, I can just do those things. It takes time, but we are absolutely getting there. So let's take a look at what we've got done thus far, and I'll tell you what I'm needing to do. So we are starting to get the roof insulation up, and of course the Isomax clip system to hang the roof from. This presented a lot of problems, and the reason for that is, as you all know, the roof in here isn't very high. So the support beams are 2.1 meters, if memory serves me correct. And of course I'm mounting further insulation and rock wool, sorry, not rock wool, gyprock. All of the soundproofing stuff is being mounted on that. Now, if I were to take these and then put the Isomax system on it, and then put all of the insulation on it, the roof would come down by about 12 centimeters. Now, I don't want a roof that's less than 2 meters high. Now, we always knew that this was going to be less than ideal, but we had a sort of compromise that will save us a little bit of space. But in this instance, a little bit of space makes a huge difference. So I had assumed that I would have the Isomax channels running from down there along the roof this way. But of course, with the system in place, that wasn't going to be an option. So, as you can see, what I've had to do is I've had to mount them going this way. Now, of course, this isn't a problem. If anything, this gives us an added benefit. It means I can now have the Isomax clips actually higher up than the supports, meaning that we're saving a bit of space this way, which is cool. But of course, that presents more problems. The first problem was knowing how heavy these sheets of drywall are, 44 kilos each, and we're double layering it with what do they call it? Like a high density vinyl that goes between them, which absorbs more sound. Right, because I'm going to be adding at least 100 kilos to the roof, I wanted to make sure that the roof was completely structurally solid. So I've been going through and reinforcing the roof to do that. So I'll show you some of that. I've put these C16 boards all the way across, and they're gradually going down there, and that should help any with any additional strain that's going onto these boards like this. Though interestingly, of course, when I do this, I realize we're straight here, we're straight at that end. That's bow that you can see here. This is bow in the original supports. Now, of course, that could be for several reasons. The wood could just have been bowed when you put it in. That demonstrates the level of weight that's already on the roof and how much that's kind of impacted the wood over the years. So supporting it was definitely a good shout, and that sort of helped me understand how high these Isomax clips needed to be. And of course, the other thing I've done is I've started going up here and adding additional supports to, stop it pulling down any further. I've got these pretty heavy duty, are they? Or these 120 mil, 6 mil thick, 120 mil long, and these do a great job of going up through those supports and holding that wood in place. So any additional weight is hopefully being supported. Now, the biggest problem, and the thing that's taken the most amount of time with this project, is the spacing between each of these supports. So the Isomax clip system obviously has specifications for the weight that the clips can support. And in short, along the lengths of the furring channels, the Isomax clips should be no more than 120 centimeters apart. I've gone for 100. And they should be no more between furring channels. They should be no more than 60 centimeters. Now, this is where the problem comes in. If we look at these boards, the original supports, if I were to have Isomax clips here and here and here, then each Isomax clip was going to be further than 60 centimeters. Now, I'm sure, there's probably a bit of leeway on that. I'm sure that when they put 60 centimeters between them, that's a guideline. But of course, we want to do our best to not break that. So what I've been doing is going down on every single one of these, adding my support channel in, and then adding these further sideways support beams in place, and then using those to mount. Let me just grab one. Using these to mount my Isomax clips. Now, of course, these need to be measured so that when the furring channel is in place, the furring channel is still lower than the wooden support beam, or else the drywall is going to come into contact with that. So I've been going down and doing that, and I've been doing that on every single panel. Now, there has been an added benefit, although the obvious drawback is that I'm now using considerably more Isomax clips than intended, and I'm using more of this furring channels than intended. But it does have the added benefit now of there being something really solid that I can mount the insulation on top of. So I can get that in place, and it can really push up against the Isomax clip system. Lots of Isomax, lots of insulation in my throat. Hopefully I don't have cancer. So that's what's happening with the roof. Now there's a lot of wood on the floor. I'm climbing over it as I'm going. So today is a lot of sawing wood. I've just cut this piece of wood, and in theory I will come over here, and this should slot up in here. I'll have to hammer this in place so it's nice and tight, add my secure supports through the wood here, through the wood over there, and then that's the thing we add the Isomax thing to. Moving forward, I've decided that it's only fair that I buy a drywall lift, because it would require too many people to lift this drywall, hold it in place, and then screw it into place. So I need to buy a drywall lift, which is a lot of fun because there's no fucking room to put it. Where's it going to go? But, you know, we'll make do. I'm gradually getting rid of that, so we'll have more space to work. The wood's going to disappear. Obviously, the drywall itself won't be disappearing, but, you know, we'll manage. And the final thing is I have ordered an air conditioning unit, an industrial air conditioning unit, a split unit. Had a lot of people obviously express concerns about ventilation inside what is intended to be a sealed room, an airtight room. It won't be airtight. I'm not that good at DIY, right? So that will be going on the wall here. I have a specialist power cable set up for it. I don't know enough about electrics to tell you what this is, but I know it's considerably, it will handle a higher power load than the more lightweight ones we have down here. So I still need to deal with getting the pipes for the air conditioning unit through the wall. A hole saw or diamond core drill bit will push through, but what's been pointed out to me is that I might be able to have it run up through the wall and come out through the PVC fascia board up there. And then I mount the outside unit outside, and you know, then we get some clean air circulating in here, which is going to be important. Anyway, yeah, it's progress. We have come a supremely long way with this, and it's taking shape. Should really put a face mask on when I'm in here. Yeah, huge way that we're coming, and things are really starting to take shape. It is motivating me to spend more time in here and get things done, even though I've got a shit ton of transcribing to do. I've got a shit ton of stuff to do for Frank Gambale and David Wallerman, and you know, work needs to get done. My new book is finished though, so there is that. But updates on that as I get it out. I say finished, I still need to record all the audio examples, which will take a lot of time, but nowhere near as much time as writing. It took me 10 months to write it, apparently. Apparently I've been slacking. Believe it or not, it's been a very busy and a very stressful year. So yeah, anyway, thoughts, comments, concerns, ideas, let me know in that comment section below. And as always, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button that's on the screen. Support me on Patreon by clicking the Patreon button, and you'll see 2 more videos on the screen. Check those out. Give me all your love and support, because I need it. I need it to be motivated to pull myself through this. So thanks very much, guys. I love you very much. I will see you for another video soon. Laters.